Hola! I'm glad you're here with us today as we travel back in time to take a close look at the amazing Ancient Mayan Civilization. Here we are in Mexico at Teotihuacan, a military and commercial powerhouse in its time. Its political influence stretched both north and south throughout the Mayan region. It was a wealthy city, partly because of nearby obsidian deposits, a valuable trade item. This wide road leading into the city is called the Avenue of the Dead. Here in the center, we can see the Temple of the Sun. Close by is the similar but slightly smaller Temple of the Moon. When the Aztecs came upon this wondrous but empty city many years later, they couldn't believe it was made by mere humans, and so they gave it the name Teotihuacan, or Place of the Gods. One of the most important and best preserved Mayan cities is Chichen Itza. It has the great honor of being one of the 7 new wonders of the world. In its time, Chichen Itza was a great center for the teaching of religion, science, and art. It's also one of the best preserved cities, probably because it is very recent as far as Mayan cities go. Just like the rest of Mesoamerica, the ball court was a very important part of life and was usually located right in the center. The ball games were not just for sport, they also had great importance as a cultural ritual. The ball court was part of the social fabric of Mayan society and was also used for feasts and other sports. Chichen Itza's ball court is the largest of its kind in Mesoamerica and is quite a bit longer than a football field. Here we can see 2 long walls that mark the side perimeters of the ball court. In the center of each wall is a stone ring 9 meters high, carved in the image of an intertwined serpent. We think that players had to put the ball through the center of the ring using any body part except hands and head. Here at one end of the court is a structure known as the Temple of the Bearded Man. It was probably used as a viewing platform for nobles or maybe honored guests. Toward the other end of the court is where we can see the 2-story Temple of the Jaguars. It too was a viewing area for spectators of honor and maybe royalty. Nearby is a temple platform dedicated to Venus, a planet of great importance to the Mayans. Venus's movement was tracked closely in the nearby observatory, using its path to plan rituals and make major decisions. Venus's symbolic power accounts for this temple's location right in the central plaza next to the most important building in Chichen Itza. Here is the most iconic image of Chichen Itza and even of the Mayan civilization itself. It's known by 2 different names: the Pyramid of Kukulcan and El Castillo. It's about 100 feet high, and its design and architecture have great meaning to the Mayans. As we've seen before, the pyramid is made up of a series of 9 platforms, each one smaller than the one below, creating its triangular shape. Its 4 sides represent the 4 cardinal points of north, south, east, and west. Ascending up the middle of each face or side of the pyramid are 91 steps. Together, they add up almost exactly to a solar year. When divided into 4 as they are, they also represent the 2 solstices and the 2 equinoxes of the year, which we know as the first day of each season. How clever is that? The spring and fall equinoxes shared the same amount of daylight and nightfall, 12 hours each. It is these equinoxes that were important to the Maya because they honor their respect for both the day and night sky. The bases of the pyramid stairs are carved with the image of Kukulcan, the mythical feathered serpent and their most revered spirit. This is what El Castillo looked like back in 1860 before it was excavated. Near El Castillo is this imposing building called the Temple of the Warriors. Leading up to the front of the temple are about 200 carved columns. Each side of each column is carved with a warrior image. That's a lot of warriors. At the top is a statue of Chac Mool, a legendary messenger of the gods. Chac Mool is always shown in a reclining position, and religious offerings were usually placed on its stomach. Next to the Temple of the Warriors is an array of seemingly endless pillars, known as the Plaza of 1,000 columns. Way back in time, it would have supported an elaborate roof. It looks as though it was probably a very large meeting area for religious and civic gatherings. This is the observatory at Chichen Itza, a very important building that helped them add to their body of knowledge about the night skies. Here, they were able to use the observatory's design features to chart the planetary movements, predict astronomical events, and create their elaborate calendars. Beginning around 800 CE, the Maya began to abandon their cities. The reasons for this exodus aren't known for a certainty, but there are some thoughts around this mystery. The most popular ideas are related to one or more of drought, famine, disease, or being conquered by hostile invaders. Thankfully, they left behind an impressive legacy of achievements, especially when you think about them as an ancient civilization. They gifted us with a valuable body of knowledge about astronomy, especially the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, all without the use of any technology. They developed an accurate 365-day calendar and other complex ways to measure time. They created a glyph-based communication system in a time when few other civilizations had any written form of language. They combined valuable art, communication, and history in their carvings. They built hundreds of cities using advanced engineering methods and their invention of concrete. They figured out how to cultivate crops in difficult growing environments and were able to feed thousands of people. Maybe we appreciate them most because they invented chocolate. It's very easy to see how advanced they were for their time and what a remarkable civilization the Mayans were. We learn more every day as archaeologists continue to make important discoveries. There are many thousands of people in our modern-day Mesoamerican countries who are descendants of their trailblazing forefathers. They keep many of their Mayan traditions alive, and we're quite sure that they are very proud of their impressive ancestors. So, let's hear it for the Mayans. Were they a great civilization or what? We hope you're looking forward to unraveling more of this historical puzzle as much as we are, and that you enjoyed this trip back in time to visit the Ancient Mayans. Adios!